What's up, everybody, and welcome to today's Sit Down. On this episode, we've got a up-and-coming superstar, a rap superstar out of PE, and no other than Biggy. He's collaborated with Jack Barrow, with Early Beat, to name a few. The first time I heard that song, Dames, and I went to YouTube, which, by the way, has 8.5 million views, that music video, and I saw the quirky look with the comb over, with the blonde hair, with the glasses, and all those girls in the video. I knew this young man was going places. And one of the places that he ended up in is the Sit Down. Welcome, sir. It's an honor to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. I mean, we all fans. We enjoy your music, and I must say, the energy that I expected you coming in here to bring, and the energy that you brought, I'm pleasantly surprised. You're very calm.
Cool.
You're a cool person. You're collected.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy this. I hope you do too.
I'm glad. Yes, definitely.
So, going back in your history, you're 26 years old.
Yes.
You're still a young man.
Yes.
If we were to, boom, bring the 16-year-old version of you and have him sit down here next to you, how's your energy? What are you thinking about? What's your priorities? What's important to you at 16?
I think obviously at that age I still had a lot to learn. My
all
drive was the same, you know,
Okay,
for music.
ambitious.
Yeah. You know, I thought I was a bigger deal, but I wasn't. You know, you're still like in that little world. You know, reality still had to hit.
Yes.
You know. But that's where I started, basically making music, you know, where I realized that this is what I want to do for life, you know.
At 16?
So, yeah.
So sorry to interrupt you. Who are you at 16? Are you a sporty kid, a popular kid, a naughty kid? Who are your friends?
I had a handful of friends. I don't have a lot of friends,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
because I kind of, I chose to be that way. I didn't want to really be the popular one.
Okay.
I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and
You had
just
your crew.
kind of like hide away doing it. It was with music you can't really do that because you're always out there.
You need exposure.
You know, and yeah. But at that time I was basically always at home, or I was at one of my mates that I started making music with. His name is Donovan. We actually had a group. We were a group, just us two.
Okay.
And we started like recording at his mom's house, like in the bedroom.
Okay.
They had like a computer with a little mic, and
Awesome.
you know, so I would write some music or like some lyrics or whatever, and we would get together at his house and make music, and that's basically all we did, you know. And we had like our little ventures that we went on, you know, to do some shows or whatever, or you know, collaborate with other guys that's also up and coming, or you know, yeah.
And have fun.
Yeah, we
So-
just had fun.
So nice and quiet, a little bit introverted,
Yeah.
to yourself,
Yeah.
doing your own thing.
Yeah.
So how does that evolve into, when is the first time someone sees you, someone hears you that says, look, you are very talented, you should perhaps seek a professional career? How does that transition into having fun with your mate in his mom's bedroom with a mic and recording music, to saying, listen, I want to give you an opportunity, you've got some flow, I love your style, let's go and record a song?
The big thing for me is there was a gap between when I was still, you know, like at that time I was still beginner. I was still learning everything, and then over like I think the span of like maybe 5 or 6 years later, then only my opportunity came with somebody from a record label contacted me and wanted to sign me. And in that time I had enough time to like, you know, get some of the ropes going, because if you make one song just for the fun of it and you blow up right there on the spot, it's hard because you still have so much more to learn.
Yes.
You know. So I had my time where I was like, you know, crafting my skill and, you know, learning new things and meeting more people, and then we made like one song, and then that, you know, blew up from there.
And then you had the momentum, and you had the arsenal, if I may say, in your army to be able to go and more and more and more and
but
more.
there was still so much more to learn from there.
Of course.
Like that was, the hard work actually started there.
Okay.
You know, from that phone call, you know, I had to learn everything myself again, like, when it comes to actually being in the industry, because there's a huge difference.
Yes,
You
agreed.
can think you know what's gonna happen now, but you
Until
don't. Yeah.
theory versus
Yeah,
actual
yeah, yeah.
application and
Yes.
practice is two different
Yeah.
worlds. And
Yeah.
then, on that, I'm going to ask you a different question.
Mm.
So going to that initial call, what maybe one or two things that you know today that you wish you knew back then that you could take with you to ease that journey into becoming a person of influence, a person with fans. What is perhaps the one or two things that you wish you knew that you could take back?
Mostly how to deal with the the when it comes to signing your deal, and
So the admin part.
how to sell yourself, how to work as a brand.
That's very
Because
important.
at that time for me, because I wasn't financially well off and I had to do my own thing, and I just wanted to jump into it. Like, oh, we hit the big time. Okay, cool. We're gonna make money now. We're gonna live better and all this stuff. So I didn't focus on the details. I had to pay attention to the details so that in the long run, that I don't look back and I'm like, oh, I should have done that. That would have been better. If I could do that then, I would have. If I had more details of how things work, and also just how to deal with all the attention. That was very overwhelming for me, because I am
A quiet person,
yeah.
a bit
Yeah,
introverted.
I'm more introvert, and that's funny because doing shows every weekend and stuff. It's funny, but that's how I am. Like, I like, doing my own thing, chilling. I'm not as loud and stuff, but when I have fun, that's when I come
Yes,
out.
then
And
you
when
come out.
when I'm around the people that I want to be with, then that's when I'm myself.
That's a very important point.
Yeah.
I speak to a lot of up and coming artists.
Yeah.
I speak to a lot of seasoned billionaire professionals,
Yeah.
and 80-90% of them are introverted in the sense that
Yeah.
if they need to lead a team, they rise up to the occasion. They do what needs to be
Yes.
done.
Yeah.
But if they had a choice, like, what do you do? Just hang out, chill with my family. At home, I'm relaxed in an environment that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
It's not this going out
Yes.
and doing 300-400 things at the same time. That's
Yeah.
chaotic.
Yeah, I like having order, knowing what I'm doing.
Sequence.
And yeah, I feel I get very agitated when I don't know what's going on around me, and I feel like that's one of my like cons, of where I freak
I don't
out.
think so. I think it's a pro. It's not a con. It's a
Yeah.
pro because great preparation leads to amazing results.
Yes.
If you don't do the preparation, you can't expect, you can't wing it. So if I know I've got this meeting or training session tomorrow morning at 7, I'm going to prepare for 4 hours.
Exactly.
Then I will demand a great result. So I share that. I share that with you.
Yeah,
I think
it's
that's
important. Good. Like, you have to, and especially if you love what you're doing.
Yes.
You can't just rock up and.
You can't wing it.
Yeah.
Not at the level you're
sometimes.
at.
Sometimes.
But not at the level that you're at.
Not every day, yeah.
Not at the level that you're at.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
So they say it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
So if we were to go back in your beginnings, who are the 3 most influential people on your life and why? So if you could name a person and what he or she did to guide you on the route of becoming the man that you are.
First of all, obviously my mother.
Mom.
Yeah, she's one of the strongest people I know. Like, her background and her history and the stuff she had to go through to where she is now, she's very strong. And just the stuff that she taught me how to be who I am today, taught me to be humble, taught me to treat everybody the same, a lot of things. I think, because I was a real mama's boy. So everything in growing up and everything I do, she always believed in me, gave me the space to do what I want to do. Like, obviously with music, after school, I don't want to go study and stuff like that, because I knew that I'm not going to waste her time and money or stuff like that, to do something that I'm not really interested in. I told her straight up, I want to do music. And she said, okay, go do music. And I thank her for that, because I'm a person, if I'm going to go into engineering, I'm gonna focus on engineering.
That's that.
You know
You're
what I mean?
one lane guy.
One lane guy. Yeah, like I can do a lot with one thing, like with music, I can do a lot of things.
But it's music.
Yeah,
It's not music.
it's
and
not music
engineering
and
sport and something else.
yes.
Understood.
So she gave me the space to do what I want, and obviously I have to thank her for that, because she wasn't one of those moms that like, oh, you want to do music, you know, and then you think in the back.
What about a real job?
Yeah, what about a real job? Yeah. So she's one of them, and then I think obviously my mate Donovan, like also believing in me, because I mean we all start somewhere, not really good in the beginning, and you know he taught me a lot of things, you know, and how to keep on going, you know, like doesn't matter what the people around you are saying, tunnel vision,
Yeah,
like block it out, anything
Focus.
bad, move on and do it, and eventually you'll get, and that's, I promise you, that's how I got to where I am now. It's blocking out everything around me, seeing the goal and just going for that, working non-stop to get there. And he was one of the first guys to actually make me believe in that, because where he is now in his life, from where he came from, you would never think it could have happened, you know, and he just stuck through all the stuff that pulled him down from reaching where he is now. So I learned that from him. Yeah.
And who's the third person?
Yeah, that's a hard one. I think it can't be one person, but all the people I met when you know I started making, when I blew up as an artist, all the people that I met and the lessons they taught me, and you know that I can't just choose one person because there's so many. So I must say the people that I know and that I'm friends with in the industry definitely taught me a lot, and I'm thankful for that. Where it's not a competition, like, oh, I'm not going to tell you something because then you're going to do it better than me, or vice versa, you know. It's we work together.
We share
because
ideas,
we all have the same
vision.
destination, you know.
Yeah.
We all want to do so, we all want to put food on the table and have fun.
And do well.
That's what it's about. It's not, oh, I can do better than you, or, you know.
Beautiful.
So,
and I think people sometimes touch your life at that point where you need them the most, and you will course correct to the right direction.
Yeah.
Awesome, amazing. So, if you could have a day off, like no fans, nothing, what is your chill time look like? What do you like doing? What do you enjoy doing? Say, this is my day.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna interrupt me. This is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't really have like hobbies, you know. Like I'm not a golfer or. So usually I just take the day as it comes. You know, like I would, if I have a day off, I would decide on the spot, okay, cool, I want to maybe go have lunch at this place, or go into a museum here or whatever, you know what I mean? So, but I think most of the time what I do is I like to watch stuff like documentaries and learn new things and take in information, and and also obviously with music, like not just listen to the genre I make, but like going back and like learning more stuff, and but I spend a lot of time on YouTube, I must say.
Good.
That's like on my off days.
Your YouTube.
YouTube, learning some stuff. And
who's your favorite artist?
I don't have one obviously, but there's a lot. Like there's a lot of guys I look up to, and when it comes to Afrikaans hip hop, there's guys that how can I say, that they're so good at what they do, but they don't have the recognition yet. But I look up to them, and I'll make a point there of like to get them out there, to mention them, you know, like there's so many. But on the international level, obviously there's a lot of people I listen to, but the reason why I make Afrikaans hip hop is because it's big, but not as big as on an international level, if you know what I mean. So it's like something still like, it's like still a baby.
It's still,
and
it's
I
still
can be
pure.
I wanted to be part of it, to shape it into a bigger thing. And the guys that's part of that I look up to, like, you know, obviously like Cream Machine, you know, Jack Barrow, and all the Afrikaans artists out there, you know, like the guys that also had a long journey and made a difference in the industry, and also helped me shape myself.
Awesome.
yeah, there's a lot of them. Too many names.
Too many
mention,
names.
yeah.
To mention. Okay, great. Tell me, we like to share a segment that's called a landmine. So this is a mistake that you perhaps made as a child or coming up or early in your career or maybe yesterday. A mistake, we call it a landmine. So you stepped on the landmine, it blew up, but you can live to tell the story. So we don't need to make that mistake. So maybe if you want to share something out of your life experience and your journey that will help us not make the same mistake.
I think the biggest thing is to first do your research before you do something. You know, like especially when you go on a new venture, like with me, when it comes to the music thing, is I had to first learn how a deal works, and you know how it's gonna affect you in the long run. And that's I think one of the mistakes. I mean, I wouldn't say it didn't ruin me as a person or anything, you know, obviously, but I think like if I had the knowledge that I had, I wouldn't have done some things, you know, signed some papers or whatever, you know.
Agreed.
Always make sure you know what's being done, both sides, what
Both
you want to
sides.
reach and what they want from you, because it can be good, it can be bad, you know. So you must make sure that you know you pay attention to the detail.
So when I'm in a boardroom and having a very high stakes meeting with a supplier, I had a very difficult conversation with one of the suppliers 2 weeks ago. This is a supplier that gets millions of rands of business from us monthly, every month, millions of rands. You know, the information that I had was evident that I could cut that supplier. I don't want to do business with a supplier that acts in this way, but that's the information I had. So I knew our relationship for the past 4 years wasn't built on that. So I went in and I said to them, before we started, I said, before we start, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. I want to know what you want to achieve out of this meeting. And what is your perfect win out of this meeting? Because I want to give you that. And then once they said, I want us to mend our relationship, it's very shaky, I don't want to lose you as a client. And I said, well, what I want to achieve is I want to seek to understand why you came up and did 1, 2, 3, 4 things so that we can move forward. And by asking that, the meeting started off on a good note, because now managing expectation up front. So like you said, if you're going to sign me as an artist, I want to know what you want to achieve from me, and then I can be clear on what I want to achieve from you, rather than going into something blind. So a mentor of mine taught me, manage expectations up front. Whenever you go into a difficult situation or negotiation, what do we want to achieve? How are we going to get there? I think that's great. That landmine, I think every successful person has to communicate up front. But the upfront is very important, because once you're in that contract, you can't get out.
Exactly.
Nothing's impossible, but it's very difficult to get out of that. It's almost impossible.
I think that basically sums it up, is communication.
Upfront.
And I struggled with that. But also because I didn't have the...
All of us do. Not only you, all of us struggle with that. So I think, that's a great... I mean, the last 3, 4, 5 minutes have been great conversation for everybody. So if you could say, I know by our conversation, you don't want to let somebody shine more than the other person, which is a great quality. I like that about you. But the best advice someone gave you, you don't need to give the name. What's the best advice that someone gave you?
There's a lot.
Just boom, the first one that pops up.
If I have to think now, I think it's to remember who you are, and always watch who you're mixing with, and it's I think I can only think of my mother, because you know she taught me how to be humble and to stay humble and treat everybody the same, because the thing is, like, especially in this industry, people can get the wrong idea very easily.
Quickly,
Whether you making a statement, you know, where you mean what you're saying, or you're making a joke or whatever, it's rakantheid partykeer, you know.
Quickly. No.
So I always I think the best advice was just to be who you are, not try and be something you're not.
And I wanna touch on who you hang out with, because I'm a little bit older than you. I'm about 11 years older than you, and I've had the opportunity to have been mixing with friends that led me to bad things, and I've had the opportunity to mix with friends that led me to good things. My life, it's not even the same.
Yeah.
It's not even the same sport.
Yeah.
How different my life became once I started mixing with people that challenged me, that drove me, that pushed me, that told me I could do more, that believed in me.
Yeah.
I mean, my career, my life exploded, versus the place where, you know, where the friends are not doing that. So that's very, very good advice.
Yeah.
If you could spend one day with someone, the whole day, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Definitely my grandfather.
Your grandfather, okay.
A part of my childhood I lived with him.
Okay.
And he didn't live to see me blowing up in the music industry, and I would love to see
his
what
reaction.
he would say about it, because he's obviously it would have been something new, you know, and I don't think he would have ever thought I would have went into music. So I would have loved to see his reaction, and if it was a how can I say, reaction of like, are you sure about that? You know, I would have
like,
loved
well
to
done,
see him.
I'm your fan.
Yeah. I would have loved to show him like I'm good at what I do, and you know, this is what I do. Or maybe like see his reaction when he watches me at a show.
Yes.
You know, like example, my father, like I took him to one of my shows
What did he say?
It was his first time.
What did he say?
And I think then he realized, and okay, cool. You know, this is
your
serious.
This is your calling.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So I would have loved to see my grandfather's reaction to that, because he passed away when I was 6 years old or 7 years old. So I didn't have time for that. But I would have loved to see that.
I'm sure that he's in a better place right now.
Definitely.
He's looking down on you, smiling. I
Yeah,
can see that. I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Proud of the young man
Thank
you've
you.
become. Beautiful. So, if you could overhear a conversation, if you would say, "Oh, I would love to know what's going on in that room," who's in the room and what are they talking about? If you could be a fly on the wall.
I think I wouldn't say there's like a specific conversation I would love to hear. It's just more of what people do on a daily. Like I wonder about that, like some of my favorite artists, just to see
how they go day to day.
Just the day in the life, you know, to
life.
see how they work. And there's so many people, but I think like sometimes I would sit, and if I'm listening to, let's say, The Weeknd or Eminem or whoever, I would love to sit in their studio sessions
and see
and
how they are.
how they come about of work, how they work, and you know, just to listen to what they talk about and what their interests are and stuff like that.
Did you see the NFL halftime show?
Crazy.
I saw it. Maybe I've watched it myself. Maybe 100 times. I thought it's one
beautiful.
Of the best productions I've ever seen.
Yes.
I played loud in my car on my way home and on my way to work. It's phenomenal. I think it was just magic.
Yeah,
it was
it's a big
awesome.
thing for hip hop.
Yeah,
Big
big
thing
time.
for
Yeah.
hip-hop, yeah.
And okay, at the end of the day, this is a car channel.
Yes.
So what's your first car? Tell me about your first car. Color?
MK1.
MK1 Golf. Okay,
MK1
I can see you
white Golf.
with the seat. You've got the seat position like that. Okay, good.
With that car, I've seen it all.
Okay,
I must say.
How many subs in the boot? One or two?
Sure. I think I had one little speaker at the back that I had to connect every time I had to drive somewhere, because the car was dropped. We actually put drop kits in, and we
and
cut
you rolled
them.
the arches.
No, we cut them
Oh,
to
you
make it
didn't
more
play?
lower.
Okay.
We cut them with grinders in my friend's backyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Front and back, and there we go. And I didn't roll the arches, so driving home, getting it home, I had these little slices in my wheel,
your tires.
my tires, because I had the wides.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, what experience.
So white MK1 Golf.
White MK1, no door handles.
Okay, shaveless door handles. You were fancy.
My door
Wow.
had nothing. Like I could unlock the door with my finger.
Okay.
Yeah, and I do. You know that.
That's a Golf standard feature. They all come like that. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So my first car, MK1, red in color. I still remember the number plate. PXV 920 GP.
I can't remember that. I can't remember.
I'll never forget it.
But yeah, that's what I remember, is that because of the shaking when it was dropped, the
Yeah, you
speakers
need a
wires
kidney
would-
belt. You need
Yeah,
a kidney
yeah.
belt because it does that.
So I had to tape it every time, and then okay, cool, I can listen to music now wherever I'm going. And
I know, mine had two 12-inch subs in the boot, and
Yeah.
it was rough. It was
I
nice.
really wanted sound, but I didn't have the money for sound. So
Now you do. You can always do
yeah,
that
yeah,
now.
I can do it now.
What's your favorite car? If money was no object, what car would you buy yourself right now?
C300
C300 Merc.
Chrysler.
Oh,
Big boss.
Chrysler.
Yeah.
Okay.
300cc 300.
Yeah, C300 Chrysler.
Big boss
The
car.
SRT.
Yeah.
A black one.
Yes.
Black on black.
Black.
Black on black.
Black,
We sold one last week. A black on black on black.
Don't
on
tell
black.
me that. I
It-
don't want to hear it.
When you look at that car, it looks like it's got an attitude.
Yeah.
That's all
yes,
it's saying
man.
to you.
I actually saw the car in a music video once, and I just fell in love with it.
Well, young man, you're gonna get yourself one
I will.
pretty soon. I
will,
know you
yes.
will. I hope you do, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Favorite book? What's your favorite book? Are you a big reader?
I am online.
Online,
I'm not
okay.
like books, physical
Do you
books.
do Audible?
Sometimes,
Sometimes,
yeah.
okay.
But I think the best book I read was Jack Barrow's book.
Okay.
The Ou by die Snor by die Bar, I think it's the name of the book.
Okay.
And I read that. I actually got it in a bookstore the one day. I was busy on tour. That was, I think, 2019. Yeah, I was, it was on the height of the peak of Dames when I was still touring around. So I found the book and I was like reading it when I was on flights.
Yes.
So I'd read the book and I think I finished it in like 2 flights.
Nice.
So I'd and I really enjoyed that book. And I actually messaged him because it taught me something, and I messaged him and I was like, yo, this was really nice. It was refreshing.
I think
reading
that's a
this book.
great compliment
Yeah.
that you messaged him and
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
listen, I learned something. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful. So, Mr. Biggy, what's next?
Yes.
Like, where can we see you? Where can our fans go and watch a live show? Is there new music videos coming out? Is there new songs coming out? Share with us.
I think the best way to keep track of where I'm doing shows is to follow my social media.
What is the
Bigger
Facebook?
Biggy, it's my Instagram,
Oh,
and
Instagram,
then
okay.
yeah, I'm on TikTok now. I'm a TikToker as well.
Nice.
Yeah, getting fancy now.
Good. Hey, I
No, I'm
like it.
joking. Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything is
Is
there.
Biggy.
Yeah. And I upload, I think like every month or every 2 months, I upload like a list of all the shows and
Okay.
where, so they can
Okay.
just look out for that.
People can see it.
And then yeah, I'm also this year I think I'm gonna focus on collabing with other artists, especially like there's a handful of guys I really want to work with now. Actually working with a producer that I'm a real big. I was growing up and learning music and stuff. He was one of the guys I really looked up to.
Okay.
And now I'm actually working with him.
Wow, that's a beautiful
So that's
opportunity.
cool for me. But mostly doing some new collabs with up and coming artists and the bigger names out there. That's my focus for this year, and dropping some nice music videos.
Beautiful.
And yeah, business ventures as well.
Nice.
I like to always, I like working, so I don't like sitting back just doing one thing.
Keeping
So
yourself
wherever I
busy.
can, do some more and make some more, I will do that. So I'm always open to when it comes to music, do some new things. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Not a
I think
problem.
we've had lots of fun here.
yes,
I'm very pleasantly surprised by your energy, by your calmness, by the way that you are sequenced. What's
Yes.
next? I find that refreshing. So thank you very much.
thank you so much.
It was an honor interviewing you. I really enjoyed it. I hope great success comes forward in your career.
Thank you so
And you
much.
buy a 300C in every color.
Yes,
Every
yes,
color.
please,
Good.
just the black one.
Just the black
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So any color as long as it's black.
Yeah, must be black.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, sir. It was
Cool.
awesome.
Thank you so much.